Who wants a body massage?
All right, we're rolling. This is Sec Tech Podcast number 2, featuring DQ, EX, Wayne Brady Chokovich, and my main man Shogun Alive, Winston.
What's good?
Alright, so basically how this one is gonna go is I want to talk about the experience at Galloping Ghost, as well as the views on, how you feel about how people are maturing in the game and the tournament scene, stuff of that nature. We're just kind of going to start off there, and then we're going to split off on the second part of the show and talk about like a specific character. Like, I want to talk about Jade, and you guys can talk about whomever you want to, but the first half of the show is pretty much about your guys' experience at Galloping Ghost. So whoever wants to start off, go for it.
How about you, Winston? Since your first time on the show here.
Yeah. Well, first of all, Galloping Ghost arcade out in Brookfield, Illinois. For those who don't know, has a really nice setup where you just pay $15 to go in, and you get to play unlimited for from the time you go in to when they close. And they have a great selection of old school games, like the stuff that you grew up playing in arcades, as well as all the current stuff, all made on custom cabinets.
Okay.
So we had the tournament there. Was basically they had two different MK setups. One with the wider screen, the wider setup,
right, and
then one a more traditional style cabinet, MK cabinet.
Okay.
So the tournament was all done on the cabinet sticks. Which was something that I thought was going to be pretty challenging for me, at least, being that haven't played on an MK stick like hardly ever for this game.
Yeah. You guys, we didn't get to touch that much during our test cycle at all. I think
no.
Retail, we got to play with it on retail a little bit, once we got the game out of the door.
Well, I know I had a chance to personally mess around with the PvP stick during dev, just very briefly, and but I did get up post release, and so I got a chance to kind of mess around with it, and actually went to Galloping Ghost just a few days prior to kind of see what their setup is like, and I do like it on the cabinet. It's not too bad, and it took me a little while to kind of get used to my Liu Kang combos and stuff, but yeah, it was definitely a different experience from going to usual PS3 pad to MK stick.
Okay. I guess I kind of want to know how the scene is maturing tournament-wise, because I don't know if, I've been playing guys online, and I guess because I don't play that much, I played a couple of guys online, and I kind of had, some guys doing a pretty good job, like actually beating me and stuff. I guess because I play Street Fighter 4 a lot more, and I haven't really had a chance to play since the retail release, except for maybe 2 times. So the game's been out almost 3-4 weeks, and I've only played online 2 days. So
right.
How do you feel about the tournament scene and how people are playing online, etc.?
Well, one thing I've noticed, which is kind of interesting, that I've been thinking about, is that I see a lot of guys, you're seeing a lot of guys using Smoke, Ermax, Noobs, Kung Laos. What I pretty much think of is when it comes to the Smokes and Ermax and Noobs, I look at those as kind of the cool characters.
Yeah.
Those are some really the more unique characters in the MK franchise,
right,
as far as how their look, and you got Ermac who does the telekinesis stuff, and then Noob with the shadow and all that stuff, and then Smoke is just a cool character as well. So it seems I think a lot of people maybe gravitate to those characters out the box, just based off their looks, and some of it is based off history with characters. A lot of Smoke was a big deal in Ultimate MK3. That was he was a really top tier type of character. So, and then Noob is just this is really cool as well. So I think a lot of guys just went to those characters and started playing with them, and I'm not sure if they're sticking with them because they feel comfortable, or people really think those guys are like the best guys for tournament play. Whereas then you have Kung Lao, which is somebody that people can pick up and do pretty well with
Right.
after Black Season without having to know that much. Especially against certain kind of matchups while other people might not know the game that well. Kung Lao is something you can kind of pick up and get the basics down pretty quick.
Right.
So I kind of wonder if people are just like neglecting some, going deeper with some of these characters, such as Sub-Zero and even Scorpion. Scorpion to me is like an all-around good character, and I'm surprised more people are using him in tournaments and stuff.
I mean, I definitely think a lot of people are using Kung Lao for what I'm seeing in Air Max, but I think a lot of people are kind of, I guess, who are into the MK scene are kind of seeing what guys in the tournament scene currently have been doing, and just kind of have been running with that, I guess, but I'm not 100% sure, because I haven't been able to check out as much stuff because I've just been kind of busy, but I have played a little bit, like I said, online and been in a lab a little bit, so I don't know, like, I feel like guys are getting good faster than I would expect, but then again, like I said, I don't know if that's just because I haven't played as much or if guys are actually getting good faster.
Now, keeping with what I said in mind, I was actually surprised to see some characters guys took at the Galloping Ghost tournament. One being the Striker. There was two different guys using the Striker.
Okay. Which
really actually surprised me. I wasn't expecting that at all. And then outside the Striker, also saw Sindel being used.
Okay.
What was that?
Some Shiva I saw, and then I also saw Kano in there too.
Yeah, Kano. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, somebody like Kano to me is like, I have a feeling like he's gonna be one of those characters towards like after this game has been out for a couple of months. I'm not sure if it's gonna be like towards Evo. You might see like a really good Kano player like at Evo or something going really far.
Yeah.
Because he actually has some really strong attacks. Like his like specials hit really strong.
Yeah.
Like his roll hits like the same as an uppercut.
Right.
And so
yeah.
You could find ways to mix that in a lot. So
yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think Kano is he's a slept-on character. He's very strong. He can deal a lot of damage really fast, and the ball it's not. I wouldn't say it was akin to Raiden's Superman move, but it's pretty close. It's because it's kind of fast. It comes out so fast that
the startup is next. It all seems like it.
Yeah. You guys, Wynston, Derrick.
Yes.
Let's talk about what you did at the tournament.
Right.
Some of your thoughts on, some about your jitters, about where you felt you did well, and things of that nature.
Well, yeah, there's for anyone that knows or doesn't know, this was my first official tournament, any type of gaming tournament at all. So I actually had a good chunk of jitters, and I thought in the process of trying to shake off the jitters previously in getting a lot of casuals done,
mm-hmm.
I thought that would benefit me to a certain degree. But once I started the tournament, I felt I already kind of had a target on my back because it was a scenario where I was either I was just kind of combo displaying, I guess, during casuals where people maybe were going half step or something because what happened in the first round is that I fought someone that I had not messed with around at all in casuals, and he was playing Kano, a character that I hadn't even seen anyone play in casuals. So I was just kind of like, what's gonna happen? And he caught me, I think, first round, and I had to definitely fight back for the last two rounds to get the matchup. But it's one of those things where maybe next time just I really gotta think more a little more cutthroat, because I kind of went too much on the honor code with this one, with the characters at least that I knew were kind of rush down heavy, and kind of want to get in the middle and see what happens, as opposed to really baiting and goading out players to whiff mistakes and stuff like that.
Okay, yeah, I heard you did pretty good though up there.
Yeah, it didn't do too bad, but they so some of the bracket placement was kind of I mean, because me and Winston ended up meeting in the semis, best 2 out of 3.
Okay.
So Winston probably followed up with his experience up to that point.
Okay.
Well, yeah, going back to what he was saying, it was like with the casuals. I know doing casuals, like just me, like I was kind of going to the tournament earlier that day. I was kind of warming up just on my regular Street Fighter stick.
Okay.
Just to kind of get used to even like playing with a joystick at all.
Right.
And it didn't do me too much good. so getting there like right off the bat, I didn't even know which character I was going to use. I wasn't confident in anybody other than like I felt pretty good about doing some basic bread and butter with Scorpion.
Right.
And then just over the course of doing casuals, I just got more and more comfortable on the stick and eventually stopped overthinking it and was able to settle in with Kung Lao as well.
Okay.
And so being Kung Lao is usually just normally my strongest character. I just went ahead and picked him and said, I'm gonna ride or die with Kung Lao.
Okay.
But I think some people were hiding some stuff. Like there was a guy there that he was kind of playing and he was just only going like 50%, and he was and then I think I'm not sure if you played him. I think you did. Yeah, the other Kung Lao, that guy, like he was using like other characters during the casuals, and he busts out Kung Lao, and he had a solid Kung Lao for what I can tell. But maybe you can.
Oh yeah, I'll elaborate on that because I did have to meet him in the round prior to semis. To get into semis, I had to face this guy, and I think I had ended up mirror matching him, which worked out to my benefit, at least in seeing some of Winston's tactics previous in an earlier round where he used the overhead a lot of times to catch people on a preemptive jump kick.
Right.
And I actually like some of those moves were able to kind of help me later in my matchup against this guy. But yeah, he had a really solid Kung Lao that you really couldn't sleep on, and I just eked past him. And actually, because they had 2 MK9 tournaments, a singles and then a tag team, and I had to meet him in the finals of the tag team along with his partner, who was his name is Jeremiah, another good kind of more defensive lame style player that used a really good Shiva. And I think Winston actually fought Jeremiah in the singles tournament and knocked him out, which knocked him out of the running, because I knew having played him before a couple days prior that he would be my worst matchup in regards to player versus player style.
Okay, so it wasn't. So okay, the way I was hearing it, I was thinking that the competition may have been lame, because from what I've heard, that you DQ were up there making snuff films, and you were just like really killing people.
Pretty much like I said during casuals, but like I said, I think maybe having done that could have been my general downfall, because everyone kind of knew what was up. Because I know I had combinations that can net at least like 40% damage, but since they've already seen the setup, and because I think me and Winston kind of confirmed this at least to a certain degree that we're combo chasers, so we just want to style and make you look dumb, but it's like when all our stuff is already out there, then what else can you do but properly adapt, with most of these other players of course had to do once they saw that. And of course they got scared, and then there was a fight or flight type of instinct.
Right.
So and a lot of them would definitely want to get at me. So
I mean, there was some guys, like I said, like I wasn't sure what was going on. I mean, there were some guys that just like like me, that they were saying that they only play at home on the PS3, so they also came early just to try to get used to the stick and stuff. Which one of the guys, he was a Kung Lao player, but he was just he just had like a basic average Kung Lao, but he said that he didn't play on the arcade stick before. And I think I can't remember who his friend was using, but he was another guy that was just trying to get used to the stick. But I mean, it was about 5 or 6 guys up there that were trying to get used to the stick. A few of the other guys, it seems like they've been to